All right. Sir Malkoth's Season 6 All Stars. Let's do it. So basically, I just kind of want to work my way through your cast reveal. I'm basically just going to work my way up your timeline. I have my phone in my hand, and I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts on everything. So over the past 10 months, Sir Malkoth's Survivor has produced 5 seasons, hosted a total of 88 players for 118 days in total, and it all comes down to this. To be clear, you've hosted 87 players and a Stoyan. We are not sure what he is, but he is not a player. Moving on. In just 48 hours from now, 25 former alumni players. 25. First off, screw you, because that means there's a lot of people I gotta vote out to get to the end. But let's be honest, me coming into this season, I probably need 24 other targets in front of me if I have any shot. So screw you for 21 people I gotta vote out, 22 people I gotta vote out. But thank you for all the targets. 25 former alumni players will begin a 30-day journey in our biggest season yet. So let's be clear. I played Season 2 of your game. I know you love Season 2. I love your Season 2 as well. It was absolutely fantastic. But that basically felt like All-Stars. That was All-Stars for me in this game. We had to play so hard in that season just to get anywhere. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about you taking basically 7 or 8 of the best players from that season and putting them back in this cast. Thankfully, there's no Lexi for us to deal with. I'm very happy about that. I love her, but she was a giant pain in my ass, so she can go. Anyway, oh wow, we got really off topic. 30 days, biggest season yet. Big season. That's really long. But I'm excited. I think I made it to day 23 last time. So let's see if I can beat that. I'd like to make it to that last week of the game. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, players are now headed to Indonesia, the location for this season. And you have this pretty little picture of a plane right here. It's very pretty. I'm not going to lie. You know I am an absolute crazy person, and I spent a good few minutes looking at this photo to see if there's anything hidden in it. I know you normally wouldn't hide advantages until, the game actually starts, but who knows what you consider the game actually starting, so, due diligence. You best believe I know the name of the airline, Garuda. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to remember it because I assume it's going to be on a quiz at some point in the season. And Indonesia is a pretty cool place to do a Survivor season. That's an actual place that a Survivor season would happen. I like it. Anyway, and now here are the 25 All-Stars in random order. First up is Bryce. And I'm sure you assumed that this cast assessment would be just riddled with hot piping tea from myself. But there's really nothing to say about Bryce because I love him with my entire heart. He is an absolutely amazing person, and I hope we get to work together in this game. He's probably not going to be that active because he has a boo in real life, and they're really cute together, and I approve of that. But I don't know how active he'll be. If he's active, we would probably go to the end together because the only other game we've ever played together, we went to the end together. And it was amazing. And then he flew to Dallas and met me. So I love him. Retweet, I love Bryce with all my heart. He was also a runner-up, which is I've seen his speech from that season. He sent it to me because it was pretty soon after SA21. And it was a really good speech. I know Tyler is just a really likable guy, and Bryce can make some enemies if he wants to. I don't know. I love Bryce. I don't have game things to say about Bryce. Bryce is a great player. We both know that. When he's invested in a game. He's a great strategist. He's a really great ally. I want to work with him. There's very few people on this cast that I'm going to be like, I want to work with them 100%. But, like, you managed to make the first person you revealed the person I wanted. Like, I love Bryce. I don't know how many more times I can say it. I love Bryce. He's amazing. Anyway, moving on. Castaway number 2 is Mike, playing as Libby, which is an odd choice, but okay. He was 3rd place, robbed, final juror in his season, and it makes me cry because I love Mike. I honestly believe Mike is like another one of those people who, like, he doesn't hate me. I also don't think he's ever played in a game with me. If he did, I actually think he played in Cam's season 6 with me, but that got canceled. So I think we were actually working together in that game. I really didn't know who he was at that time, so there's a good chance that we were. So again, you kind of gave me another, like, easy pitch here. I like Mike. I would love to work with Mike. I think Mike is one of the few people who is not going to be like, Ryan's the biggest threat, we got to get rid of him right away. Like, I don't see Mike actively going out of his way to target me. We talk every once in a while in Spec Squad. I don't think we've ever really talked, like, one-on-one, but as far as I know, we have, like, a good relationship. Plus, we both made it to the end in stream. I know he was a stream final. No, he got robbed in stream. That's right. He was so pissed. Yeah. He's the reason they, like, remind you in the final immunity challenge to, like, make sure you put an asterisk next to idle play vote counts, because that literally, like, was the entire reason he lost season 1, which is amazing. Mike is funny. I want to work with Mike again. Again, softball. Easy pitch. Moving on. Okay, this third one is great. I love this because, like, you gave me 2 just easy, knock it out the park. I love Bryce. I love Mike. I think they're both great guys. And then you put this bitch as the third person. Let me tell you, Alexandra ain't no queen. She can take several seats. I cannot freaking stand her. She is the absolute worst. And ironically, she's one of, like, 3 people that I've talked to so far in this game. She is crazy. She is an absolute crazy person. But that's fine, because she seems to be willing to bury the hatchet. I think she realizes that, like, I was the nicest person to her in the entire jury in season 2. Like, I was like, hey, I actually really respect under the radar gameplay. I just have a hard time voting for it when it's sitting next to, like, 2 people who actively had to work their ass off the entire game. And I think she's kind of, like, come around to the idea that I'm not a terrible person, because I'm really not. Like, I know it's a secret to most people, but I'm really not a terrible person. But yeah, this bitch, I just, I saw her on this cast and I was like, Alexi didn't make it because she got suspended, and this is what you replaced it with? Literally, like, Charlie would have been better. Like, I know Alexandra made it to the end, but she was a 0-vote finalist. Honestly, if she makes it to the end in this season, she's gonna be a 0-vote finalist because there's just too many threats around. She's irrelevant. She's a good number for me if she happens to want to work with me in, like, an original tribe or a swap tribe or something, but, like, I'm under no illusion that she's gonna go with me any deeper than, like, final 10, which is, like, still really decently far in a game with 25 people, but I don't believe she's gonna work with me long term. God, I still can't believe you cast her. You had so many other options. Like, Esther didn't make the cut, and this one did. This one. Like, she didn't even have a strong showing in her season. She showed up to 1 immunity challenge literally just to get rid of me. Which is probably why you cast her. Moving on. Nick. Oh, I love Nick too. Nick is gonna be out for blood for me in this season. The last 2 times we've played together, I think the only 2 times we've played together. No, we played together in PvP, but, like, we were never on the same tribe in that season, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, the 2 times that we actually played together where we were, like, actually on a tribe together and actually had to interact, I've, like, snaked him super hard. Like, I'm not a snake in games, really. That's not my style, generally. Like, I love a good blindside, and I understand the necessity of them most of the time, but I'm really not a snake. Like, I'm not really one to be like, I promise you I'm going to do this, and then do the exact opposite thing. But with Nick, I've kind of done that twice. In Comp All-Stars, I didn't even vote for him. I told Cameron to vote for him, and I told Cameron to play as idol because Nicole would not let me vote for him. So I made sure he went home either way because he scared the living shit out of me in that season. He would have won if he did not go home when we sent him home, um, when Cam sent him home, but with my help. And then the other time, I went on to win that season. And then the other time was Pyramids of Egypt, where he felt mad at me because there was like a big alliance chat with like all the people that he was friends with that didn't include him for some reason. I was at work when this happened, and Rob was the one who put that chat together. That was not me. Um, but he still felt pretty betrayed. And then as soon as he flipped and we were on the bottom again, no, somebody flipped. He didn't actually flip. Somebody flipped. I don't remember. But we were on the bottom. Christian, maybe. I think it was Christian. We were on the bottom, and I went to Nick and I sold him this bill of goods. I stayed awake until, I kid you not, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and you know how late that is for me. Yeah, I stayed up hours sending him paragraphs explaining my entire game up to that point, every single thing that had happened. Nicole is gone. I need somebody to be my closest ally. Just like everything under the sun, and then he went home on the next vote at my hand. He still voted for me to win both times. He didn't vote for me to win Comp All Stars the first time. He voted for Nicole, but I got his jury vote on the revote. So technically, he did vote for me to win both times. Whoops. Anyway, I think he'll work with me like early midterm. I think he would honestly take me deeper than most people because I think he knows how big of a threat I am, and I think he knows that like for somebody like him who's like a better version of Cole's game, in my opinion, no shade at Cole. I just think Nick does it slightly better. I think he's slightly more assertive in the way that he goes about it, slightly more active in the way that he goes about it. Um, but yeah, I think Nick would take me pretty deep. I just think I have to be like 100% locked in with him. Like if I'm not like being 100% honest with him at every chance that I have the opportunity to be, he's going to find a reason to get rid of me. Like he will rally numbers if he does not think that I'm with him. So got to keep him locked if I have any intention of going any deep with him. Megan, I love Megan. She's so sweet. She 100% has to go before like final 5 or 6 because she made it to the end in Heroes versus Villains with Bryce, and she was another one of those 2 people that was like robbed by Tyler, even though Tyler like deserved his win, but like still like season 1 was such a weird thing. Your final 4 thing was, you know, I love you. Anyway, yeah, Megan, I love her. She's sweet. I think she would work with me. I think TJ would tell her to work with me. What is there to say about Megan? Anyway, uh, Devin. Devin literally got me double idled out when his cast reveal tweet was posted, like at the same time. Like, um, he's a snake. He likes to play the middle. We all know this. I tried to get rid of him in Dells because I know he's a snake and Nuge is like a way better ally than Devin could ever dream of being. Um, I did some work in Dells telling Devin like multiple times that I don't hold a grudge because I knew he would be in this season and I knew that I was going to vote against him. Um, so I made sure that he was like, he understood that like I will be pissed at you in this game, but like another game is another game for me, and I have so few allies that I have to work with like anybody who's willing to work with me. So please work with me. I'm honestly like he's early merge boot for me. Like if I get put in like a situation where like I trust everybody on a swap tribe, he would be like the first person to go. Like I can't trust his game. I know his game. And like I knew his game going into Dells, but I'd never experienced it firsthand. It's kind of like the Stoyan thing, where like I knew he was just like, but I'd never experienced it firsthand, and dealing with it is just like not okay. That's how I feel about Devin. I don't want to deal with him. Um, and I know there are a lot of people who will feel that way as well. So like, if I can throw him under the bus pretty easily, especially if it means keeping myself safe, that's gonna happen. Like, get under that bus. Angie, bye. Um, what is this, Malcolm? Like, you yourself literally told me you think Angie is a great player, but she is a pain in the ass to host, and that is 100% true. Um, but much like you did, I would cast her in my All-Star season in a heartbeat. You know I love you, but like she probably beats you out in that spot of like who I need in that All-Star season. She was absolutely crazy. Um, Watching her play is like she doesn't mind being the target, and I think if like I think Angie would go way deeper than me with me than like most people. Like Angie doesn't really give a shit about anything. Like she's gonna actively try to win, but like I think Angie would take me to like final six, final five without even really questioning it. Especially because we've never played together. Like I really do think Angie would take me like super deep. Um, Especially because like I spent some time like telling her how much I appreciated her game when I was hosting her. I was like, "You're a bitch, but I kind of love you and that about you." Um, she's a literal crazy person. I can't reinforce that enough. Like Angie is the definition of cracked with a T at the end of it. Um, so hopefully I can work with that. We'll see. Oh, you made me number 8. I am number 8, Ryan. I can give you the cast assessment of like everybody else in this entire cast. There's like half the cast who has never played with me before, and they're gonna be like, I've heard he's a threat. Well, we should vote him out at some point. And there's gonna be the other half of the cast who has like played with me 9 times, and they're gonna be like, he's a threat. We should vote him out at some point. Nobody has taken me to the end, and like people say that. Like a lot of people say that on Twitter, where they're just like, nobody would take you to the end, but like if you had to pick one person that you just weren't going to the end against, it's me. Like, I wouldn't want to sit next to me. The ego jumped out a lot. But I wouldn't want to sit next to me. So, like, yeah, this cast is... They're going to have fun with this. We'll see how long they let me go. Because depending on how late they, like, leave me around, I could do some serious damage in this season. Like, there are some potential pieces who I could make need me that would make me so dangerous if they let me get down to like final 9, final 8. We'll see. Castmate number 9 is Kirsten. Yeah, Colleen hates her. Like, hates her. She's actually like really mad at you for casting Kirsten over her. And I kind of am too, because Colleen would have worked with me super deep. And I don't know if Kirsten will. Maybe she will. I know she what's the way to phrase this? I know she uses her sexual appeal with people of the other gender. So like if she comes to me and she's like, let's bang and work together, pass on the bang, but we can work together depending on how long you're willing to keep me and how much I trust you. I also told Colleen that I would make Kirsten a pre-merge boot, and if I get the opportunity to do that, I might just. Anyway, Alex is next. You're a liar, sir. You told me Alex was not on this cast. I love Alex. He's so sweet. He's like the nicest guy you will ever meet. We've played together a few times. I've snaked him a few times. Actually, think the only time I snaked him was SA21, and I really didn't snake him because he was in a Final Four with me, Matt, and Bryce, and me, Matt, and Bryce had like steamrolled the entire season as a dominant alliance. So like it wasn't really a snake so much as like you gotta go. Um, Alex also doesn't want to lose to me again. Like he lost comp 3 to me, and we were the only two returning winners. And I think he took it a little bit personally that I performed better in that season than he did. Um, I know Alex is going to be out to get me at some point. He's another one of those that like he'll work with me short term. He's not going to take me super super deep. Um, it's kind of like I have like 3 categories. There's like people who are going to want me out the first time they get it, people who will take me somewhere but not like super super deep, and then people who are actually like smart enough to take me super deep and let me go out at Final Five so they can pull a Darius and win. But there are not as many smart people as there are like middle of the road people. There's not very many dumb like stupid people either, but there's a couple of them. Anyway, love Alex. Sorry you got robbed at Final Four in your season. Love you. Abby will work with me. She's a queen. People think she's a snake, but Abby just knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to do what she needs to get it. And I also think that, especially after how Dell's played out, I do think that Abby is going to jump at the chance to work with me. Early mid, she'll cut me around Final 7. I don't know if she has me deeper than that. Depends. Maybe. Depends on what happens there. Abby's just kind of like, she's definitely one of those like middle of the road. She's like the most middle of the road of the middle of the roads. But she's fine. We love her. Mason. Malcolm, you literally were like, who did Ryan screw over in his season? Mason. We never got to work together, but like on paper, I think we would be good allies. I don't know. He's kind of like another Devin for me, even though I know like Devin is definitely the more Devin. Mason is not Devin, but he has Devin-like tendencies. He was also the runner-up in his season, so like potentially I could use that as a shield, maybe. We'll see. Another middle of the road. It kind of like some of these also depend on like what the original tribes look like, and also what happens in a potential swap if it happens. Like it's so hard to do this cast assessment when I don't know what the tribe divisions are. If I knew, like, I'll do one of these obviously when we get the tribe divisions, but like if I knew what the tribe divisions were, I could tell you like what some of the dynamics were there. There's just 25 people. Like I can't even handle the dynamics between me and the 24 other people in this cast, and like it's really hard to sit here and like try and pick apart who's going to work with who in this season because there's just too many possibilities. And too many variables at this point. We don't know like anything. We don't know how many people are going to be on our tribe. Hi, Georgie. My puppy wants to say hi. He's mad at me because I've been ignoring him for, holy God, we've been going for 23 minutes and we are not even halfway through this cast. Anyway, so Mason. Yes, Mason is a person. Georgie's distracting me. Amanda Panda. We both love Amanda Panda. I think she's one of the like literally like 2 people on this cast who would actually take me to the end legitimately. And not because she's like, it's not like bad gameplay. I think she's just one of those who's like more willing to take the risk that the jury would respect a little bit more under the radar gameplay as opposed to like a little bit more aggressive gameplay. And I don't think that's a bad decision necessarily, especially given how like this is Twitter and there are definitely some people on Twitter who are tired of seeing me win games and they will literally vote at any chance to vote against me. So like if she gets like a potentially like good jury role as to when jury starts and who's sitting there, she could probably sit next to me and like beat me in the right circumstances. But I do think she's one of the people who would like actually take me to the end, even if I like lost immunity. I think if we were in like a 3-1 alliance at Final Four and I lost immunity as part of that three, I think she would at least vote to keep me. I think even if the other person on our three flipped, I think she would like force fire for me to go to the end. Um, so like I want to lock in that loyalty because I was loyal to her in Dells. It was kind of because of the situation that we were put in, honestly. Like, she wasn't my first choice for an ally. But after the situation we were put in and, like, getting to play with her, I think she would be, like, top three allies for me this season. I think she would be one that would, like, actually stick with me. And I need all of those that I can get. If she gets robbed early, especially if we're, like, not on the same tribe and there's nothing I can do about it, I'm going to be real pissed at you. Moving on. Brian. He scares the living shit out of me. He's got to go. He's again, he'd work with me. He's not taking me deep. He knows my game too well. He knows everyone's games too well, which is like kind of scary. I think that's really like the thing to talk about with Brian is that like he's not overly assertive in terms of like talking about particular gameplay. He just happens to know everybody's. Like he knows people's games inside and out, and he can kind of have like a really good read on them, and that makes him either like a really strong ally for me or the most dangerous ally against me. Because if anybody's going to be able to create like a pitch against me that makes completely logical sense as to why they should get rid of me, I feel like it would be Brian. I think Brian is the person who is like A, both smart enough to do it, and B, like has like a reason to do it. Because I think he's kind of like a little bit of like a UTR version of me. And I don't think that plays well in a final tribal council scenario. And I also think that he's like way smart enough to know that. So I don't think that he would actively go to the end with me. So I gotta watch Brian. He's middle of the road for me, but like I would work with him if the opportunity presented itself and it was a good opportunity, but I wouldn't be opposed to getting rid of him at the right time. Like I'm not gonna like actively stick my neck out for Brian unless it's like the only way I see my game succeeding. So he's more of like a situational type deal. Katie is amazing. Sorry, moving on. That was a drastic change. Katie is amazing. I love her. I loved watching her confessionals in season 4, or not watching, but like reading her confessionals in season 4. I think she has a really tight grasp on like the actual strategy that works in this game, because like there's like survivor strategy where you're like, oh, vote up the threat, split idols, blah blah blah. That's not survivor strategy. Like survivor strategy to me is like understanding the social nuances that actually like make this game tick. And she's one of the very few people who understands that in like a very like Nuge way or like a Duda way. Like these are people who just like they understand, they get it. She's also a huge threat to me. Like I understand that she was like second boot in season 1, but I think that was more of like an activity thing and like a cast thing than more of like a game thing. And she did really well in season 4. Like that was the season that I was most actively invested in watching, and like I know how well she was playing. So like she's a huge threat for me, but I also think she's one of those people who falls on like this side of the scale where like I think she would take me way further than a lot of people on this cast, just because like she hasn't actively experienced my game firsthand. She doesn't know how I work. I think she's smart enough to like the first time that I need to like play an angle with her, she's gonna know it, and then she's gonna be like that much more aware of my game in the future, which is something I have to watch with her. But like I really do think she would lock in strong with me and like go really deep with me if I locked in with her. I'm really not sure if I would want to sit next to her in the end. It kind of depends. She's like a jury situation where like I don't know if I would win. I could see a lot of people really respecting her game. I could also see a lot of people saying that she was under my wing. And this is all like this isn't based on any like actual game that's happened. This is all just kind of like preseason thoughts that are popping into my head. Because this is the exact reason I hate Twitter games. Is exactly what I'm doing. Is I'm going through this cast and I know these people. Like I'm. It's like walking onto the island day 1 and seeing like 18 of your high school classmates with you on CBS Survivor. Like that's just not something that would happen, and it just makes for like a weird dynamic in a game, especially a zero-sum game like this where there's only one winner. So it makes it hard when you know everybody off the top. But I do like Katie. I also hope she plays season 2 of my game. She told me she would. Um, and this is video evidence of that. Moving on, Jordan, literally like the biggest question mark for me in this entire cast. I know nothing about Jordan. I don't. He was runner up in his season. He was that forgettable. I think Colleen was working with him in that season, and like I'm gonna be like, you best believe I'm gonna slide into those DMs and be like, hey, you work with Colleen. I just got double idled out of a game where I worked with Colleen, so like work with me a bit. Um, Big question mark. He did lose a final tribal council, so like if he'll lock in and go deep with me, I'll go the distance with him. We'll see what happens there. Um, yeah, biggest question mark for me. I really don't have a read on him. We'll see. Um, Castaway number 17 is Brady. I know you love Brady. You know I love Brady. What else is there to say about Brady? Like, we didn't get to work together in season 2 because we just ended up on opposite sides. Um, but we didn't have a relationship at that point. And, like, to be honest, our relationship kind of, like, grew out of the fact that we were actively targeting each other for basically the entire merge of season 2. Like, we were kind of the leaders of our alliances on either side. And it's funny because, like, our right hand mans each made it to the end and were the two that got jury votes. Um, but I think we grew like a mutual respect for each other. And I absolutely love him now. I loved watching him play my game. Brady got so robbed. Um, I was hurt when you had to vote him out. I know you were too. I hope I'm not put in that position. I don't think Brady would go to the end with me. Maybe he would. He's kind of a crazy guy. He might do it, especially under the right circumstances. Um, but he definitely leans like more on this side of taking me deep than the early side. I don't think he's actively trying to get rid of me. I don't think he knows very many people in this cast, and I think the fact that I'm one of them really bodes in my favor, especially if we end up on a tribe early together. People would potentially think that because we were on like such drastically opposite sides at the merge, we were literally the two people who got the majority of the votes at the merge in season 2. He got 4 and I got 3, or the other way around. I think I got 4. I think I had the most. But either way, like, it's kind of funny that I really do think Brady could be one of my closest allies of the season. We literally, the only reason both of us like grew this like rivalry, that's not even a real rivalry. It was a rivalry in season 2. Now it's like a friendship that we joke about. Is because he played the legacy advantage and I played an idol, and we both happened to stick around even though we were the two with the votes. Um, and we both robbed Kat on accident, which is really funny to me because she was like both of our closest allies. I don't know, it was real weird. Season 2 was the weirdest season. I don't understand. Anyway, I love Brady, and I would really love to go super deep with him. I do think that if he was a juror and I made it to the end, I do think I get his jury vote. I think he's one of the few that I could say, like, guaranteed, if that was a situation that happened, there are very few ways that I lose his jury vote. So I love you, Brady. Gavin Etheridge is... he's Gavin Etheridge. Like, what is there to say about this kid? He is the male version of Angie, kind of. That's a weird comparison that I have not thought about until right now, but it's kind of scary. Yeah, Etheridge is the male version of Cracked with a T. He's out there. But like it's so weird because I don't understand this type of gameplay that Angie Etheridge, like, I'm just going to play like an actual crazy person. I'm going to cause so much chaos that there's not a way for people to see clearly on how to get rid of me. That's what their game is. Like, it's just a fog of all this bullshit that you have to see through. And it works for them. I mean, Etheridge was super successful in your season. He was 6th out of 24. He made a lot of moves. He probably wins if he gets to the end. Like, Etheridge was a scary player when he can be there. He can also flop spectacularly. If I had my druthers about me, I'd much rather Etheridge flops in this season, like first or second boot, and I really don't even want it to be at my hands. Like, I just kind of want him to go and me to never have to deal with him, because I think He got to watch my game in SA Live, which is one of the, I think he's one of the few on this cast. I don't even know if anybody else even did, but like I know he did because like as soon as I got added to the winter chat that night, spoiler alert, they didn't add me after I won SA 21 because like I never technically did the final cycle. But anyway, he literally was the one who pointed out in the winter chat like Ryan's social game is greater than anything. Like it's like you had those people so wrapped around your finger that even when they knew they should vote you out, they didn't. And he could either like really want to work with it and be a crazy person, or he could be like, that's got to go and blow up his entire game just to get rid of me and follow me out the door. So like if he goes, I'm not too worried about it because I don't think Angie would actively target me super early where like Etheridge is a literal coin toss. What is he going to do? Nobody knows. Does Etheridge know? Probably not. And that's terrifying for me. Moving on, Coco. We already have an alliance chat, and it's really cute. We're a cute dumpster fire. I'm not going to vote her out. It's not happening. I told her straight up. Day 0, I have a final 2 alliance with Coco, even if she beats me. Coco, I think, is one of the most underestimated players on all of Twitter. I think she actually got robbed in my game in the Celestial Isles. She played the better game, I think. She was never a target. People knew she had an idol, and she still kept it all the way to Final 5, and it was my fault that they knew she had an idol. She managed to get 3 jury votes against Dominic, who played like a very dominant game, and who also talks very well. Like going up against Dominic in a final tribal is like suicide, basically like sitting next to me in a final tribal. Like you don't want to have to do it. And she was put in a situation where she had to, which is unfortunate for her. But even so, I think like potentially, especially in like an actual Survivor game, I think she potentially wins. She's so good at positioning herself to where just like nobody wants to target her, and I think a lot of it has to do. I know I've talked with you about this a lot. I think a lot of it has to do with her being in a different time zone, her just being active at different times than other people. But in terms of like strategy and the social game, especially, I think she outsells a lot of people by a mile. She's a queen, and honestly, if people let us get together, we could potentially run this merge all the way to the end. And if I lose there, it's the same risk I took going with Nicole multiple times. Coco and I aren't like a boyfriend and girlfriend situation yet. We'll see. But like, I think Coco and I could do some real, actual damage in this game. The next castaway. I don't even want to move on from Coco. Can we go back to Coco, please? Like, rewind and get me some more Coco in my life, because this next one, you just... First off, it's a real big stretch to call Derek an all-star. In general, like, I think of all-stars as people who could have won, and I just don't see a way Derek wins anything because he is a legitimate asshole. Yeah, I can't stand him. Like, there are people who I'm like, right? Like, I talked about my 3 categories. People who are going to target me early, people who it's like situational, middle of the road, might take me deep, might cut me like early-ish, and then people who take me super deep. Like, Derek isn't even like gonna cut me early. Derek tried to cut me yesterday, like before the cast was even announced. If he tries to make an alliance chat with me, which honestly I don't believe he would, even if we ended up on like a swap tribe and he was just like on the bottom, I don't think he would even bother at this point. If he bothers to try and make an alliance chat with me, I'm gonna pull a Matt and I'm gonna literally tell him, I have no intention of working with you. And you are going to say, that is a terrible social game, and I gave you the social game award, and you're such a good social player, and you know you shouldn't do that because this is Survivor, and you need a relationship with everybody. And under normal circumstances, I would agree. But this is Twitter, and Derek literally has it out for me. Just me. He wants me to go in any situation that he has to be around me. It doesn't even matter if it's in a game. If he is in the same chat with me, he wants me to leave it. So I'm not even gonna bother. Like, why give him the ammunition if he happens to make jury and I happen to get to the end of being like, you lied to me. I'm not gonna vote for you because you're a snake and you have no loyalty, which is honestly, fuck you, Derek. But anyway, yeah, like, there's no point. Like, what's the point? We both know, even if we tell each other, like, oh, we're gonna work together, like, we're not going to work together. So bye. Like, you gotta go. I want him out. He wants me out yesterday. I want him out the day before yesterday. He's officially canceled, and I think Coco is more loyal to me in this game than she is to Derek, and it would be so funny to me if Coco cut Derek in this game. I just want to throw that out there. Anyways, moving on to the person who's not Derek, so literally anybody else. Bella. Bella scares the living crap out of me as well. And it's for a different reason. I know you love her. I know you respect her gameplay a lot. I know you respected her gameplay a lot in season 3. I did as well. Just watching what she was doing and watching the way she interacts with people. She's really good at this. And it's kind of funny to me because I found out tonight. So Bella slid into my DMs. Like, I followed her back when I was like scrolling through the cast reveal for the first time, like an hour ago, and she followed me back like 10 minutes later, and then 30 seconds later after that, she slid into my DMs and was just like, "Hi, actually, I will go find you the message because it's pretty funny." Hi, I think this would be a good alliance that I'm sure Malcolm would like and enjoy. First off, I'm not in the business of giving you anything you like or enjoy, but I can make an exception for this alliance. We are the robbed 5th place icons. Yeah, I want to work with her. I think she's great. I think she will actually work with me. I think she was one of those who falls on like the side of like will take me deeper than she probably should. But I think it could actually like really work out for her. She's one of those who like honestly, if she took me to like final 6, final 5, she probably wins the game. Which is great for her because I would be loyal to her probably to that point as well. Like, I know it's probably dangerous, but we both know at this point, like, I will keep threats around for stupid long periods of time, even to my own detriment, because I truly believe that, given my reputation on Twitter, that's the only way that I can actually play right now. Yeah, I'd work with Bella, and we already have a chat, so like, put us on a tribe together challenge. Moving on, Cole. First off, Cole, I sincerely apologize for dragging your name through the mud to like half of Stan Twitter tonight. Anyways, now that we've cleared up that you were not the one who sent the screenshot to Coco, you made an alliance chat. Cole made an alliance chat with me, like, as soon as the cast reveal happened, and actively tried to talk to me in it. And I know that he did that with a lot of people, probably the entire cast, or at least the entire cast that he knows, and he's gonna like feel out the ones that he doesn't know when he gets on a drive with them. But like, I know Cole is talking to people. I know Cole is also scared in this season. The only reason that Cole is willing to look at what I just did in Delaney's game and still take me anywhere like that could even be considered deep into this game is because Cole is a winner in this game. And not only is Cole a winner, he's a winner in the only returning player season that you've done. So Cole made an alliance chat. And I don't even remember how we got there, but I was like, how far are you like literally like legitimately willing to take me? And he was like, I'll take your sorry ass to final 10 and no deeper. And I was like, okay, that's fair. And final 10 is like super early to have Cole trying to come after me. I also think it'd be bad for his game, so like I do think this benefits both of us. But I told him I was like, in Comp All Stars, Cameron made me a Final 9 deal, and surely you can do better, Cole. So I got Cole to agree to a Final 8 deal. So if we both make like the jury phase of the game, Cole knows he can't cut me until Final 8 without losing my jury vote. And that could prove like really beneficial for me if I'm able to like get a couple votes from Cole. So we'll see. Cole, I also think, is one of those people who would like vote for me if I sat in the end. Like I think I would have to sit next to like, I don't even know who in this cast that I could sit next to that he would vote for over me, just based on like how close we are, and how much he knows my game. Like he knows way too much about my game. He's too scared of my game to let me like get to the end and not vote for it to win, which I think bodes really well for me. Next up, other Brian Bitch. Me and Brian have like the weirdest relationship. It's really odd to me that like he's a winner in this game because in stream he was the runner-up to my winner, and he only lost to me by like one vote. And he won decisively against Henry in season 3. Brian's like a weird one for me. I honestly think like at this point, like I think Brian would work with me. I don't even think like he knows enough about me to know that he should target me in games. Like I honestly think like Pyramids of Egypt was just another game for him. So I don't know about Brian. If the opportunity presents itself, I think I'd like to work with him. I think he messaged me tonight, but I was like too busy trying to deal with the screenshot thing, and I was at work. I haven't responded yet, but I'll respond to him. I don't know. Brian's funny. I like Brian. I think he's funny now that Nicole was out of the picture. So, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, this next one! I can't believe you made me wait this long into the cast reveal to like talk about him. This next one's really funny. Darius. Now, Darius and I have an odd relationship in Twitter games. He is the only person in any game to have ever voted me out twice. He voted me out in DMs of Fire 6 because he was literally scared shitless of me. And then he voted me out at Final 5 in Season 2 of your game. And you know how I feel about that. You know how that got me all worked up. And I was telling you I wasn't going to vote for him because I'm a bitter juror. We both know that I ended up voting for him because I absolutely love him. He's hilarious. I loved watching him in my game. The fact that him and Angie are in this game is like absolutely freaking terrifying to me because I saw what they did in the Celestial Isles like a month ago. And I know they're working together. They're like this. Like we talked earlier about how like I don't really know the dynamics of this tribe or of like this cast as a whole because there's no like tribe divisions or anything. But like Darius and Angie, if they get together, they're going to work together. I assume that you probably don't have them on the same starting tribe. That would be my guess. Like, even if you did, like, a randomizer for your tribes for this season, I would imagine that, like, even if they popped up on the same tribe, you split them up because you split them up. They're not on the same starting tribe. Darius is a winner. And he knows that I know, that 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 we both need each other. Like, we do. We would both be, like, stupid to cut each other early in this game. Like, we'd both be stupid to cut each other, like, mid of this game. Like, we literally need to be, like, Final 7 again together. I think he's probably one of the more high-profile winners. Like, if I had to rank them, we haven't talked about Tyler yet. He's the last person on this cast, and we'll get there. But, like, I'd probably put, like, Darius and Tyler are, like, tied for first for me. But for different reasons. Like, I think Darius is I think he's actually the, like, stronger strategic player. I think Tyler is the stronger social player. But I both think that they possess the other skill set as well. Like, they're both really strong all-around players. And they both have, like Darius is probably the stronger strategic player, but he also has like a really good social side where like Tyler is like the better social player, but he also has a really good strategic side. They're both like massive, massive threats, and the fact that they both won this game back to back is absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, I think Darius needs me. I think he knows he needs me. I think he knows that he's going to be a threat. I think he knows that people know what he and Angie did in the Celestial Isles, and I don't think they're going to want him to do it again. I wouldn't be surprised if like Cole targets him like ASAP. Then again, Cole probably wants to work with the winners. I think Cole actually already told me he wants to work with the winners, so like he won't target him. He'll target him like early merge. I guarantee you that. He's not taking Darius like super deep into this game. Like Cole, over under like. I think if you were to DM Cole right now, like right this very second, and say like, who would you take further in this specific game, knowing only what you know right now, I think Cole takes me further than he takes Darius. I think Cole trusts me more in a game to actually work with him than he does Darius. I think Cole understands that like I'm a little bit less of an emotional player, where Darius can like every once in a while he'll let his emotions get the better of him and he'll just like pop off, and it's amazing. I absolutely love watching it happen, but it's potentially like one of his only downfalls, or like flaws, if you can really call it that. If there's even like a flaw in the Survivor gameplay, it's all completely subjective. But yeah, Darius as a winner, especially the winner of my season, like now that we've kind of gotten through most of this cast reveal, I know I think there's 6 people who played in season 2 and only season 2. I know Derek played in season 2 and returned in season 4. I don't know if anybody else did. I actually don't think anybody else who played in season 2 that returned in season 4 is on this cast. But like, excluding Derek for obvious reasons, I want those 6 to work together. Like, you got me, and then the 5 other people who only played in season 2, like the 2-time players, who are now 2-time players with me. I want that 6 to work. It includes Coco, which is phenomenal for me. It includes Brady, which is phenomenal for me. It includes Mason, who was close with Brady, and Brady voted for him to win. And if Brady is working with me, Mason potentially works with me as well. So that's pretty great for me. Who's even on that cast? Alexandra, she talked about wanting to work with me, and I do potentially think she would work with the rest of that season 2 group. So that like bolsters my case with her if I try and get that as a thing. Who else? Oh, and Darius, which is like again great for me because I think he knows that I know that he knows that I know that he knows that I know that we need each other. So I think that'd be a really solid like group of just like. I swear to God, if you put us on tribes according to original season, which I don't think works because of the way that the numbers fell when you were doing your cast reveal, I'd really like for that to just be like kind of like a group of people like early game where like I might even like talk to a couple of them and be like, would y'all be down to like just like make like a right before the game, like right before tribes are revealed, make a chat with the 6 of us and just be like, look, I believe we're the season 4 doesn't really count. I guess it does. I think we're actually the biggest like minority, or I guess the minority. We're the biggest like group of season returnees. Like we have the most from our season. Probably because you absolutely love that season, and I don't blame you. It was an absolutely fantastic season. So I'd really like for that to be a thing, and I think we're going to be targeted. We could potentially be targeted, especially if we get down to like a swap, and none of us have gone home yet. I think we could potentially be targeted as being close, but I think it'd be real hard in a cast this big with this many people and this many actual threats. I think it'd be really hard for people to like pin that down unless we were just like unless it was just like a situation where it's just obvious to everybody. I don't think people would really be able to pin that down that we were like kind of looking out for each other, kind of working with each other. And I think that could really benefit all of our games. I think there are a couple really big threats in that group, like namely me and Darius. But I think like potentially like a Brady or a Mason could also be like a really big target in this game because they were known to do well in their season. which like everybody was, but it's all stars. But like I don't know. I don't think that. I think that there are a lot of ways that we could potentially be targeted, and I think that it would potentially benefit all of us to kind of stick together, minus Derek, because Derek can go ASAP. And we can tell people that he was the season 2 boot, and like, oh, like look, season 2 isn't working with each other. We booted Derek because he's a shithead. Moving on. Castaway 25, our final castaway, is Tyler, of course. Like, we got this deep into the castaway, you kind of shot yourself in the foot because of the random order where, like, everybody knew who the 25th castaway was, so there was, like, no suspense. I think there's a couple people in this cast that you could have been like, are they cast member number 25? We don't really know, but, like, we all knew Tyler was playing again. He was your first ever winner. He won the 24-person Heroes versus Villains season in a Final Four. And he's a threat, man. Tyler is a threat. Like, what do you even do about Tyler? He's so good socially. Like, it legitimately, like, cut out a piece of my heart when I had to slit his throat in Pyramids of Egypt. Like, we weren't ever close. We weren't ever, like, actively... We were never on the same tribe pre-merge in that game. And when we got on the same tribe, or when we got to the merge, Rob kind of put together an alliance of people that he trusted, and Rob had Tyler, and Rob had me because of you and because of Nicole. And Rob kind of like brought me and Tyler together, and Matt together as well. But like, that was our four. It was me, Rob, Matt, and Tyler. And me and Tyler got close at like final 8. Whenever all that crap was happening with you, whenever you were just like losing your mind in that game, me and Tyler got pretty close because we were kind of talking about like Malcolm making me nervous, and he was one of those people that thing that I told you about Rob, where I just like laid out like Rob could do this, and this, and then suddenly he's in the final 5, picking between which pair he wants to win against in the final tribal. When I laid that all out to you, and you were like, I'm not voting you out, and I would have an hour ago. I did that same thing with Tyler, and like Tyler didn't even need convincing. Tyler was on board. Tyler was ready to target Rob. And it's just kind of unfortunate for him that Rob won Final 6 immunity, because I would have voted out Rob at Final 6, like, no question. I think Matt would have voted out Rob at Final 6, probably. I know both other guys, like D and Brian, would have voted out Rob at Final 6. Like, everybody would have voted him out. And as soon as Rob won immunity, we were all just kind of like, shit, gotta figure out something else to do. So, bye, Tyler, your game is too good. He was kind of under the radar almost in that game, where, like, nobody was, like, actively, like, really going after him, unless they're just, like, needed to take a shot at somebody on our side. Yeah, it really kind of hurt to cut him there, because I didn't want to, and I told him I wouldn't. But at that point, honestly, at Final 6 of that game, I really thought that, like, if Tyler did not go, Rob won immunity, it was me and Tyler. One of the two of us was going, and I managed to convince, honestly, I don't remember what I did to convince Rob. Oh, I threw Tyler straight under the bus. That's what's happened. Yeah. I straight up told Rob that Tyler was, like, coming after him hard, because I told Tyler he should. And as soon as Rob won immunity, I was like, Rob, don't vote me out. Vote on Tyler. Look, Tyler's coming after you. Ooh. Yeah, Tyler was pissed at me. Tyler also did not vote for me to win that game. We actually became good friends because I literally DM'd him after he said votes were locked and before they were revealed, and I was like, I don't know whether or not you voted for me, but regardless of if you did, I'd really like for us to be friends afterwards, because I think Tyler's a great guy. Yeah, I snaked him pretty hard, and he didn't vote for me to win. He didn't vote for me to win. He would have if I hadn't forced fire for Matt, which I find absolutely hilarious. Yeah. Man, Tyler's a funny one. You also cut him at Final 4 in Comp 13, which is funny. And he got cut at Final 6 in my game. Oh man, Tyler. He's also a winner threat though. Like, I don't think there's any realistic way that I sit next to Tyler and I'm gonna broaden this real quick, and I'm gonna say like I really don't think there's any way that like when I say I don't think there's any way I sit next to Tyler, I don't think there's any way I sit next to any of the four winners who are playing this season, and I win. Namely because people already think that I am an arrogant asshole, and they are partially correct. Um, but I do think that if I chose to, especially if I like actively chose, like if I won final immunity and I took a winner to the end, I think people would literally look at me and be like, "You are so arrogant that you took a winner to the end, and we're gonna give that winner a second win." Literally, like just to spite you. Um, so yeah, I don't think there's like any way I could take a winner to the end. But beyond that, like even if Tyler wasn't a winner, I'm not sure I'd sit next to Tyler and win. Like that's Tyler would have to piss off a lot of people. Like he wasn't a serious winner contender in Celestial Isles, but namely that's just because like he didn't really know that cast. Like you kind of had like the GH fan people, and you had the Spec Squad people, and then you had those like few people who were in the middle who just like never really got a firm footing, and that was Tyler. Henry was another one of those where just like he like, never really got a firm footing. Um, where like Alex was like more of a like under the radar player, and he like kind of like could like mesh in wherever he wanted to fit in that game. Tyler isn't really that kind of way. Like he's just a little bit more high profile, where people have like a little bit more of a reason to be scared of him. Um, so yeah, even though he wasn't a serious winner contender in that game, I don't think there's any like. It's always situational. It's always going to be situational, but I don't think there's any way that I could sit next to him in the end and expect to win. And I like to sit at final tribals expecting to win, as you know. That was all 25. We got through all 25, and it only took us an hour and 1 minute. And there you have it, the official cast of Season 6, Survivor All-Stars. I can't wait for the viewer chat to drag me. I'm sure there are a couple of people who are going to be rooting for me. I'm sure there are a couple of people who feel about me the way that Andrew feels about Dominic, and like he's just tired of seeing him win, and honestly, he'd just be happy to see him go. It was fun. I hope you enjoy, having like a little bit more of a divisive like cast member. Some people are going to love me, some people are going to hate me. It's going to be that way when I get on actual Survivor. We both know this. And your game schedule. Day 1, Saturday, 9 p.m. I appreciate the late start time. Thank you. 9 p.m. Tribe Divisions, 9:30. First immunity challenge. I am known to flop in your challenges, most challenges. I got targeted in your season 2 for being a challenge threat, even though I didn't win a single individual immunity challenge, and I competed in all but one of them. Yeah, dude, I don't want to go to first tribal. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm one of those people who honestly doesn't mind going to tribal pre-merge. Like, there are a lot of people who are like, if I could just go straight to merge and never have to go to tribal pre-merge, I would. I'm not one of those people. I like to go to tribal a couple times before merge because it kind of lets you build some bonds. Like, if I had never gone to tribal in Delaney's, I think I would have gone probably in the Nuge spot. I honestly think the fact that Nuge didn't go to any tribals, he went to that one tribal where like they did the whole Dominic idol on Cat, vote out, vote split crap. I think that honestly hurt him. I don't think he really had a chance to build the diverse bonds that he would need. Like he has bonds, obviously he's Nuge, but yeah, I really don't think that. He was put in a good position just because he kept winning. He never really got to like prove to people that he would keep them, and I think Devin grew pretty wary of it, and that's probably why Nuge went. But yeah, I want to go. You know me. I want to go to a couple tribals pre-merge. I don't mind it. I think it's good for my game. I think it's going to be necessary for my game this season. But there are also 25 people in this cast. I absolutely do not want to be 25 out of 25. The only way to avoid that is to not go to the first first tribal council. The only way to do that is to win the first immunity challenge. So yeah, I don't want to go to that first one. Please put me on the tribe of challenge snappers. Katie, like I know Katie like destroys at challenges. Please put me on a tribe with her. Yeah, dude. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait to see where these tribes go. I'm honestly kind of scared for you to release tribes because I just did an hour on just reading 25 people's names. So like once there's actually like actual like interpersonal dynamics to talk about, who knows how long these confessionals are gonna get. Um, but yeah, dude, yeah, all stars. I'm ready. I'm hype. I'm excited. Let's get it.